Hey, patrons, it's X, and I'm here with Felicia and Kyle. No special guest this week. Welcome to the Secret Patron Show. It is August the 6th as we're recording this because the clock is officially rolled over. And this is the patron-exclusive content that we offer to our $1 and up per month patrons. So literally anybody who chips in.
Sexy motherfuckers.
$1 a month. I mean, that's like 3 pennies a day. You could do that shit.
I will call you sexy.
Anyone who chips in will get a whole 6 months worth of content to listen to, that those of you hearing this sometime in like February, God, are missing out on. So anyway, regardless of who's hearing this right now, we've got a good show for you guys to enjoy. What we've decided to talk about this patron show is a video that I stumbled across on, I think I got it from the Reddit ex-Mormon section, or maybe it was just the atheism section, I'm not sure, the subreddit there, from a YouTube channel that has about 2,500 subscribers called Three Mormons. And it's,
God.
You have
tell what they're doing.
You have a closeted white Mormon, you have a black Mormon, and then they have a special guest on this one. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, so here we go.
So, Greg Trimble here, a popular LDS blogger who wrote the really cool book, Dads Who Stay and Fight. And we're going to talk about atheism.
Which you will come to find out. They have no idea what atheism is.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, they're going to tell us what we are, what we believe. Isn't that always fun?
Yes.
Ooh. I'm so afraid. I'm actually terrified. Because, no, the atheists, they're like an army on YouTube. They're powerful. Have you seen, like, the amazing atheist guy with the beard, TJ?
Oh,
TJ. God. No.
Don't use him. At a time, disgusting. He had amazing videos when it came to stuff about atheism, but then he started becoming anti-fem, anti-SJW, which is really interesting considering that his girlfriend at the time was a trans woman, and this was a while ago. I mean, it's like, I don't know how somebody can reconcile certain things like that, but whatever.
Jay, he's like a...
I don't know TJ.
I don't know him, but he's like...
Give me more depictions about TJ.
Popular account.
He's a count? Like he's like a rich man?
This is what passes for Mormon humor, folks.
Yeah, that's absolutely what passes for... is a count?
A count?
TJ, Count TJ, who's the atheist?
He's a count like a vampire, but he's an atheist. Instead of a coffin, he just like lays in a pile of Richard Dawkins and Sam Harris books.
That's not even clever. That's...
No. Why would the coffin be supplanted with Richard Dawkins books?
I'm offended by the bad humor.
This is just 2,500 fucking subscribers, people. 2.5. Meanwhile, we make dick jokes in a rape story. Who's to say is the worst?
We did the thing. We did that thing.
Atheists are human beings. They're rational. They're smart. They have morals. They're people.
Thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for baiting the hook. Yeah. Thank you for telling. Thank you for letting us know we're human, just like you. How about that? That's great. Are we supposed to be less than? I don't.
Still loved by God, even if they don't believe in God.
So I think we need to have a conversation about misconceptions of atheism.
So I tweeted, what do you think are mistakes Christians make about atheists or atheism in a discussion about atheists or atheism? And at Emma Leigh Fletch said, mixing up the differences between being agnostic and being atheist, as well as acting like we are better than those who don't believe.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Listening.
So, what do they have to say about it?
What would you say is the difference between an atheist and an agnostic?
An atheist doesn't believe in an intelligent designer.
A god. Yes, we don't believe.
Yeah, okay.
We don't
Literally
have...
any of them.
We don't
Not
have
all
sufficient...
gods are intelligent designers, but fine.
And agnostics are just, I don't know. I'm waiting to figure it out. I'll
honestly,
figure it out. If there's a God, then I'll meet him and I'll say hi. And but
I really feel like most millennials are leaning toward that area.
They are.
There's no doubt. In fact, there's a Pew Research poll that says that it's the fastest growing religion.
In air quotes there, scare quotes.
If I weren't a Mormon, I'd probably be an agnostic.
Did you hear that? If I wasn't a Mormon,
you're literally an agnostic right now.
You are.
Yeah.
And he's like, I would literally be an agnostic. It's like, you need to get out of that closet first.
Literally discuss potential figurative being.
Yeah.
Be a Catholic.
Or maybe a Presbyterian and sing in a gospel choir because that's fun.
Wait, okay, so now you're just saying religions.
Yeah. If I wasn't Mormon, I would be this. It's like
I would be all the other things. Okay,
Mm.
fine.
Catholic.
So I think there's a big battle, especially online.
That's the closeted one, I think.
agnostics
I'm
against
calling it.
Christianity, and they say, "Why are you binding yourself to a certain doctrine?" I feel like I can be happy if I can choose anything
There's
I
too
want.
many rules.
Yeah.
My argument would
Not-
be that nobody, you're not going
binding.
to find more happiness. Like, what would I do if I wasn't a member of the church?
Oh, I don't know. Enjoy your Sundays, get your 10% tithing back, and use that on stuff you'd actually like to do.
Masturbate
Not-
without
you,
guilt.
you would be
Not judge your
whatever you wanted.
kids. You wouldn't have to wear the
That's it.
sweaty armor. You wouldn't have to wear any of that shit. You wouldn't have to participate in cult-like activities, like baptizing dead people and
Okay, the happiness thing is what really is pissing me off right here
Yeah.
because they're acting as if they're happier because they're Mormon. That's a requirement of their religion, that if they are doing good in their religion, then they're happy. And here's the thing about humans. We're not built for happiness. Happiness, this whole, there's a path to happiness is a bunch of fucking bullshit. All right? Life comes in up and downs, and sometimes we're happy and sometimes we're not. There is a way to be healthier through periods of unhappiness. But one of the biggest lessons I've had to learn, and one of the things that in mental health that they talk about all the time, is acceptance. Sometimes you're not fucking happy. Not every day is a goddamn gift, all right?
not to the
Sometimes-
Mormons.
Oh yeah, but to the Mormons, you are supposed to be happy all the fucking time because you're a fucking Mormon and you have the truth. But guess what?
And
There
if
is
you're not,
no path.
there's something wrong with you.
Exactly, you're doing it wrong.
Yep.
You are. It's fine, human beings, to not be happy all the time. Not every day is a goddamn gift.
Yep.
Some days are hard. Some days are sad. And some days hurt. That's fine. Some moments hurt. But the Mormons act as if they found the answer to peace or happiness.
To everything.
And that's goddamn bullshit. And they have to keep telling you that they're so happy. They're so happy. They're so happy. Because if they're not, then they have lost. Then they failed. Then they
There's
have
a
failed. And that's
problem,
an inherently toxic idea.
I wouldn't go out and do a whole bunch of other things that the world says is going to make you happy. In fact, those things you see are actually more binding than keeping the commandments. Keeping the commandments actually makes you free.
Or some
Right?
Keeping the commandments makes you free.
No.
That's inherently false.
Hey, fuck your God. Oh, I just blasphemed. Oh. Wait, I'm praying to
And,
another God right now. Oh, no, I just broke another one. I was
Look at
praying to Ninkasi, the goddess of beer.
I masturbated today.
How dare you?
It
I
made me
tried
feel
to,
real
but
good.
there were people in the room. I'm like, no, can't do that. That's weird. If it's my wife just fixing her hair, I usually don't care. But like a kid came in the room, I'm like, okay, full stop. Nope. I'm in the shower. Sorry, I'm in the shower. When this is going, not just like in the other room, like going, just not just going fucking like hog wild, so to speak. But
Not in the living room?
no. I didn't have cock and balls out and be like, hi kids.
And you know what? There are cultures where that has happened, and it's fine.
Yeah, because
I'm not advocating for it.
no,
They're-
I'm definitely not going to do that because I will consider it a success if I make it through the rest of my life without my kids ever seeing my penis. I will be happy about that. And that's a weirdly, uniquely American thing, but at the same time, it's like, no, because I had to see my dad's way too much growing up, and I'm like, nope, no thanks.
Nope. There are some things you don't want to
Examples.
see.
I mean, like take drink.
What are you gonna say?
I've seen both my brother's penises,
Mm.
and my dad did a pretty good job of not having me see his, but I saw it once, and it was fine.
So they're like, what are some examples of things that you wouldn't do?
Drinking, for instance, if you were to go out and become an alcoholic, you have now been put into submission, you've become a slave to
A debilitating.
drug.
Understand how addiction works at all, do they?
They don't
Nope.
understand how
No.
drinking works either.
Because they're
Shelter.
sucked into a system. They're sucked into a system that is thriving on the exact same behaviors that creates an alcoholic.
Yeah.
An illusion of control, an illusion of gratification, an illusion of stability. These are the things that causes an alcoholic. Oh, and they're so acting like alcoholics. They're somehow weaker people or unhappier people, where the abuse of a substance is not inherently oh god, it's just such a complex. They're reducing a complex issue to they have no idea. They think that if you just drink alcohol, then you can become an alcoholic. That's not how addiction works. Addiction comes from
they think it's an addictive substance because that's what they've been told.
You watch porn once, and all of a sudden you're you're addicted to it. You eat
They
1
have
foot,
no
and they call you a
concept.
cannibal. 1 foot.
They have no concept of how anything works. I'm really struggling. You don't become an alcoholic because you just like drinking. Okay,
Yeah,
that's not what makes an alcoholic.
I've finished a 6-pack doing this show tonight. I'm not buzzed. I'm not going to be like, oh well, my life's incomplete unless I get fucking shit hammered. Like, no, that's not how it works. Like,
when I was going through a particularly painful time in my life, I could drink a bottle of wine and then some, and be like, and I'm fine, and I was. And this is because it's so complicated. But the alcohol is actually helping in the moment, and I am doing much more better now. I'm doing better, and I can't finish this bottle. I can't do it. Like that's a thing.
Have you tried?
I mean, I could, but I don't want to feel sick.
no, I was gonna say.
I don't think you're trying hard enough.
I was gonna say it's
But,
like
I mean,
it's like Lucille from Arrested Development taught her kids that once she opens the bottle, you have to finish it, otherwise it
the
goes
bottle
bad.
of vodka.
Yeah.
The bottle of vodka is what she said.
I love that show.
And to keep that commandment, to keep the word, people say, oh, you're Mormon, keep the word of wisdom. Well, it's actually a method that keeps us free from staying in bondage to those things. So
Staying
No,
in
no,
bondage.
it's not. They just don't.
Honey, you don't
they-
understand the value of bondage.
No, they don't.
Consensual, empowering bondage in which every person has the option to opt out. Oh, what? Yeah, that's not what you have. That's not what you have, because if you opt out, you have failed. And where in consensual bondage, if you opt out, that's also acceptable. Oh my God. Stop acting. You're not freer. You're so much less free.
I'm so much more free with all these extra rules placed upon me that other people don't have to follow. I'm so much free.
Well, they don't have to think about it.
The two worldview and how, Christians look toward the next life. Like we're following Jesus Christ. We're living by these set of commandments because we want our reward or either just lack of punishment.
Well, many people would say, you guys are probably lost in your thoughts or lost in this hope for the future because it's not based on fact.
If there is no
Well, exactly. You
Yeah.
are sacrificing
you are.
the life that you have been given.
Yeah, you got this one. You have this one.
Yeah, that's how the atheists are going at it. We're like, I don't know what's after this, and none of us are claiming that we do because there's no evidence of it, but at the same time, it's like, I know I exist right now, and I'm going to enjoy my experience of existence.
I'm going to do everything I can
Well, it's like
to
I had
enjoy this one.
I shared the screenshots with it in the discussion group that we had, where I was like, I had that discussion with the true believing Mormon guy where he was talking to me about how, like, what my beliefs are and everything about life after death and everything. And he's like, well, since you have a family, doesn't that mean you wish you had an afterlife? And I'm like, nope.
I
He's
don't know
like,
what that means.
don't you want to see them in the next world or something like that? And I'm like, no, I'd rather exist. I would rather like continue living. I would rather.
Yeah, I would like to just not die.
That'd be
just
great.
not
Can we make
die.
that happen?
Yeah.
And he obviously had never had anybody like sat down and actually talked to an atheist about stuff like that. And I'm not trying to claim like any kind of like we have the final word on anything, but you know, when we have guys like all three of us that we talk for what we want to be for our living, you know.
Yes.
And we discuss this kind of thing, and it's like,
you mean we have to work it out?
We
have
can
to
articulate,
mentally work it
you know?
out.
You kind
Yeah.
of have to figure it out. Yeah.
yeah, instead of having an authority figure telling you, you know, what you should believe.
A constant evolution of our personhood.
Be like, oh, well, that idea was shit. Let's move on to a different one. You know?
Yeah.
Nope. Not
That don't
Mormons.
work. Let's try something else.
I'm doing this thing now, and it's bringing me some level of fulfillment. And now I've adjusted my life, and I've gone through some things, and now I'm doing this thing now to bring me fulfillment. It's almost as if life is an ever-changing series of events, and we are constantly trying to adapt. Weird.
Yeah, Noah Illusions had a really good diatribe that he did about this recently, where he was talking about how when he first started doing the show, like how when we first started doing the show, we did the show for ourselves. We did the show for, you know, selfish reasons because we needed a pressure release valve to talk about things. And after having that for long enough of a time, there gets to be a point where you're just like, okay, I'm not so much angry anymore. I'm insulated. I don't really need that anymore. I do this A because I like talking shit about religious people, and B, I like to entertain folks. But also, it's like we also have a platform, and so we can take other people's stuff and make it our own. You know,
we talk a lot about
their
people
stories.
of color. So. We talk a lot about people of color. We talk a lot about trans people.
Women plight.
Nobody. Yeah, I'm a woman, so I get, you know,
exactly.
I live that. I live that.
That is your existence, yes.
Day.
That's yours. That one's yours.
I still have a lot of anger and need to live that out. But as somebody who has PTSD, I know that it's important that we normalize mental issues and how none of us are perfect mentally, and that it's fine. It's fine to be it's fine to be unhappy. It's fine to live in a life that is not perfect. And it drives me nuts because we are all working on being our best selves. And that's where I come from in a place of atheism, is that I know my life is short and I'm trying to live my best life for me. And when these fuckers sit there and tell me that drinking alcohol or not following God's commandments is somehow going to fix all this shit. It's like, you're not going to go back and fix my PTSD now. You can't do it. It's there. It's in my brain was reshaped. I am doing the things that we have evidence helps. Okay, it helps. But I am never going to not have that experience. And you assholes with your fucking your insulated lifestyles makes me mad because it's so fucking condescending. And
they're so milquetoast. It's amazing how milquetoast all three of these guys are.
No future, and there is no God, and we are just, you know,
particles.
We're just fertilizer.
Fertilizer.
Yeah. Ian had $1 million, right?
You can maybe just say Rob.
And I was gonna rob him. That you're talking
You're
about?
gonna rob him.
Oh,
these guys are not funny.
What is keeping you from robbing Rob?
Because I don't want people to rob me. That's why.
Yeah, it's really easy, actually.
Yeah.
Because I understand the consequences of my actions.
It has nothing to do with God or, you know, commandments or anything like that. Just
I practice empathy.
I don't want people to rob me, so I'm not going to do it to other people. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I have empathy. I understand that stealing from somebody could.
So he said, what is keeping me?
If there's no God,
if you're not bound by anything,
then
we're bound by a lot, dude.
Yeah.
Other people,
a whole lot.
Everybody else on this planet, you know, social norms, you know, unfortunately, gender norms, unfortunately, you know, sexual norms. We're where it's not just if there's no God, that doesn't mean there's nothing, and that's one of the big misconceptions I wanted to get to with these guys. Is that
I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean,
Well,
except
well, what
my
is
conscience and my emotion.
Oh, but what if
Oh,
you don't? Well,
your
you have
emotion?
no conscience. You're a fertilizer.
they're
No.
going to that old
No.
argument
No.
where you're just a
Yeah.
pile of chemicals. That's all. And you're
Okay, so they're taking nihilism to an extreme in which which is entirely impractical. Because I am alive right now. I'm alive, and that means I have to exist with human beings because that is what we are. We're very, very social apes, and we have to exist with each other because not existing with each other means certain death very, very early in life. And
right. Well, and they're conflating the two things.
yes, they're pretending as if there is no consequence. That doesn't make any fucking sense. And I mean, we are evolved to cooperate. In fact, I reference often our closest relatives are actually bonobos, not chimps. Bonobos are entirely cooperative and very sexual. And their entire ethic system is not entirely different from our own, where it's, you're nice to somebody else and they're nice to you, and then we both benefit. How is this so difficult? I'm nice to you, you're nice to me, we don't murder each other, everyone gets more food. Holy fuck. Oh, and then we can fuck. It's real neat, though. It's a great system.
Let's see what else these guys have to say. You're just a bag of fertilizer.
You're a prokaryote cell that turned into a self-replicating cell in evolution over many years, and you're just two fertilizers.
Yeah.
Nope.
Why
But
wouldn't I just...
you've evolved into a higher intelligence. What keeps you
That's not how this-
from feeling bad about taking all his money?
What keeps you
So
from feeling bad
much.
about taking all his money?
The same thing that keeps everybody feeling bad about it.
Harm being done.
Yeah.
You don't want that to happen to you. I mean, it's empathy.
Yeah, empathy.
These guys have none. I swear, that's what it sounds like to
No,
me. Is
they
that
don't.
they're like, well, if God's out of the equation, then that means I don't have to be a normal person. I don't have to be empathetic to the other person next to me.
But that's entirely not true, because if they'd been raised in any other religion, in any other context, they would still see another person there. And yes, theft happens, and yes, we hurt each other all the goddamn time. But it's all a matter of complex social situations.
Yeah.
No. These are the type of guys who, the second they lose their faith, it turns into the purge for these guys.
Yeah.
They don't understand the complexity that goes into human interaction. So they sit there and go, I have no wants or needs that are being unmet or that I am not reaching emotionally, and therefore I cannot possibly understand the need to take it from somebody else.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. They are not practicing empathy on any level.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem, that even when people forego God, is that they still have no empathy. And that's what we're trying to work on with this show. So be more empathetic, people.
And there is no point for our existence. We're just here. Why wouldn't I? I don't know.
So they cut the video there.
Well, I would say it's our conscience and our emotions.
Okay.
That's what keeps someone as just two pieces of fertilizer.
Is there a conscience? Like, how does fertilizer get a conscience?
Well, it's,
Or sex.
ooh, I see what you're getting to here.
I like his face.
I
These
don't.
guys are stupid. These guys are just dumb.
Yeah, they're just.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Somebody put them in a philosophy class. Just
here's the
101, please.
Here's the part where he says, "Well, if you're an atheist or an agnostic, say."
Devil's advocate. If you are an atheist, an agnostic would say, "Well, I don't know. I mean, there could be a God, and maybe I feel this way because there is a God, but I don't."
Nope. No.
Gnosticism refers to knowledge. Nobody has knowledge, so literally everyone is agnostic, despite any claims that they might make about knowing a thing.
A person that's at that agnostic level, the questioning level, would not say, "Oh, I don't know if there's a God or not." So, but maybe that's where my emotions come from. Maybe that's where my empathy comes from. No, that's not. That's definitely not where that comes from.
Human beings don't practice. That's not practical on a day to day.
No.
It's just not practical. We're not deeply thinking about that. Oh, when we do a nice thing for another person, we're not thinking, "Oh, God will reward me." We're just doing what makes sense socially.
Sure, and so I'm not going to commit myself to either way. I'm just going to try to be a good person. I know lots of good agnostics. I know lots of good atheists. But philosophically, what would keep you from taking all his money? You
Jesus
would say
Christ,
the law.
guys. Yeah, the law. How about that?
You would say the
It's codified by law, yes.
So, is there anything else? Why do people feel bad for things,
Some people don't feel bad for things.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what religion they were raised in. Turns out, doesn't matter.
This is where he makes his giant leap, Why do we feel bad about things? Here we go. We've heard this apologetic before.
Because it was culturally planted by religion.
There you have it.
No. Wrong. So very wrong. No.
Or
Hey, buddy, we're done with them. I'm not going to listen to them anymore.
Good.
But it's like, where did your religion come from? Let's just go to where that religion came from. It's like let's dial the clock back by 100 or so years and just be like, here we have Joseph Smith looking into his hat that he had a stone in that he found in a well one time.
Morality. What we've
where did the morality get dictated from there?
Oh, what is moral has shifted so much as cultures shift, and we can argue that it's so much better now because we're focusing on actual harm and not superstitious harm.
Yep. Man, it's just these guys are just fallacious straw man after fallacious straw man. It's
please have them come sit down with me because I could have so much. How come you're not a dick to people? I don't know, because I care. Because I live in this fucking world and I see what harm does. It's really not that hard. Oh my God.
And they go into Dawkins and a bunch of other stuff later on down the road, and how could he possibly say that there's no chance that there's an intelligent creator and all this other fun stuff. And it's people trying to talk through completely different lenses of seeing the world. And they think that since I've been given this book and I was brought up this way, this is how it must be. We're the butterflies that have gotten out of the chrysalis. We're not just buying things whole cloth anymore. And I'm not going to say we're super skeptical about everything, because even we fall for stupid shit sometimes. But the thing is, we're not.
Of course. Yes.
But that's the thing. We're not going to say it was Satan that did it. We're going to be like, we're fallible human beings. That kind of shit happens.
I make mistakes and I'm constantly learning. That's a way healthier place to be. And then again, we're so happy. We're so
don't sound happy. They don't sound happy.
No, because happiness is an unattainable state. The modern Western, this is the path to happiness, or like this eternal peace, or like Zen-like happiness is unattainable and unrealistic and not fair. And I'm so sick of religion being like, we can make you happy. What they're saying is we can make you feel better right now. That's not the answer. All right. The answer to wellness is a long journey, and sometimes things are shitty, and I'm so sick of religion acting like they have the answers to make things not shitty. No, what they're doing is telling you to shove those shitty feelings way down deep. Way down deep. Turn it off. Turn off those bad feelings. Just turn them off, like the musical said, and then everything's fine. Everything's
Morty,
fine.
I'm going to need you to take these giant super seeds and just shove them right up your butthole. Just all the way up there.
Way up.
Oh.
God, I can't do that voice.
Shove those fists up your ass.
It grates my voice too much. Wow. Oh, fuck you, silly little twinks. Oh, man, it's amazing. Guys. And I feel even worse for the African-American kid that's in this video, too. He's one of the Mormons, and it's like, boy, there's a whole other subset of bullshit that they did to your folk back then, too. It's like, man. Do you have a short history? Do you have a short memory? Because you can just look that up and you can just see how they withheld the priesthood from you, and this, that, and the other thing. So it's just like, man, it's a bad road to be on. And I'm glad that they think that they have all the answers, that they feel like they're right about everything. I mean, because I would pay for confidence like that sometimes, but I don't have that, and I will continue to not have that because I don't even know if I can trust my own feelings about certain things, but at least I'm honest enough to admit that kind of shit. We're not these folks where we're like, those feelings are from God. They're a gift. Everything's perfect and wonderful. It's like, no, that's not how the real world works.
They're just turning to that one answer when the question gets too difficult.
Exactly. Well, that's the
point
where...
Which is actually detrimental in the long run.
Yes.
We've gone long enough about this, enough to entertain you guys for your $1 a month, and Kyle's about to fall fucking asleep, and it is at that point where we are all going to go to bed. So with that, we're going to bid you adieu and say good night, everybody.